Hello and welcome to this very special Diwali edit on ET Now Hangouts. I'm Ankita Saxena, and today we are going to talk about the burgeoning luxury market in India. With deep-pocketed shoppers, a surging ultra-rich population and exclusive collections designed specifically for Indian buyers, the country's luxury boom is impossible to ignore. The world's biggest high-end brands are now racing to establish a presence, and India is now a must-have destination in the global luxury playbook. Once disconnected from global luxury trends, the country is now undergoing a rapid transformation, driven by economic liberalization, rising affluence, and evolving consumer expectations. India's luxury market reached $7.74 billion in 2023 and is projected to approach $12 billion by 2028, with a growth rate expected to outpace many established markets. Many factors contribute to this boom in the luxury market, like the rising disposable incomes, global brand entry, younger population entering the club, and rising aspirations. As the consumer base grows and diversifies, expectations rise, and so does the need for tailored strategies for international brands. Hi Neeraj, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us on ET Now and having us at your store.
Thank you so much, Ankita. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, Neeraj, so let's talk about the luxury market in India. What is the size of luxury market in India, and what is the kind of growth, the headroom for growth that you see?
See, luxury in India is having a phenomenal opportunity. When we say India as a market, there are two key pillars. We all see the statistical numbers of the demographics as well as the economic growth which we are seeing. The young economy, the GDP growth rate is happening, and many initiatives which the government is taking to boost the infrastructure and the development. Luxury is here to stay. Luxury is all about experience, and the young clientele and the Indian clientele is looking forward for amazing experiences.
Right.
I believe this is, we can't put up a bar or a ceiling across onto it, and this is going to rise year on year for many years to come.
Right. You know, Neeraj, we were talking about how the Indian consumer is very good with their taste in luxury, but that is very restricted to Indian luxury, like a luxury Ayurveda, or say, like you mentioned, chicken curry, or eclectic taste in luxury, but for Indian goods. When a European brand comes to India, that's an acquired taste, right?
For sure, because India is a land of, we do say India is a land of Maharajas.
Yeah.
We have a rich culture right from north, south, east, west. We have grown up seeing amazing art and craft, whether it's on the fabrics or it's on the food or it's on the way we celebrate our festivals.
Yeah.
So Indians have an acquired taste. Indians have a very developed taste across on the richness across of stories, heritage, lineage, which is there. But when it comes to the European savoir-faire, the core element is there that Indians are very, very receptive to these stories and art and craft. But for European maisons, when they're looking to welcome or enter into India and welcome Indian clients, they have to take the first initiatives, hold the hand of Indian clients into this territory, and it's amazing. The journey will be beautiful as long as we deliver the amazing experiences to them.
Right. So how have you succeeded in getting an Indian consumer into the fold? What has been the demand for you like?
Montblanc, I'm proud to say that Montblanc's story didn't start just about 10 years or 20 years back. It's a story of a couple of decades back.
Yeah.
The first Montblanc entered into India in about early 1960s. We had a boutique across over here in Mumbai itself. The transition happened and the journey continued. And over now, we have both genres of the clientele with us. On one side, who have cherished this amazing Montblanc writing instrument for generations. It has been a heirloom product. It has been passed on to the generations. And the young clientele, which you see across over here in this boutique as well, the new leather lines, the new creations, they're enjoying it and engaging with all of those new products as well.
Right. So you mentioned, you know, how Montblanc has a history, has a legacy in India. But, you know, the reason why I asked you that question is because the consumer is evolving, and so is your TG perhaps, because even the middle class is getting very aspirational now. So new TG coming into the fold for you?
For sure, because on one side, we are catering across to the clientele who's looking out for what's coming new in our writer's edition or Masters of Art in Writing instruments. Or they're looking out for the double cassette document cases to go out to their offices. But the other side, there's a younger clientele who's looking out for their personalized connect, their story to connect across with the writing instrument or with the leather or with the new watches. So our products are evolving to meet the requirements of the younger generation, which is progressive and on the go. So we are catering to both the genres on one side, the collectors who are there with us for long, and the new ones who are just entering and exploring the beautiful world of art and craft in Montblanc.
Right. So what are the markets that are driving growth for you? I'm sure this would have been few years back a very metro or a big city phenomena. But now there's a very interesting thing that is also happening in tier 2, tier 3 cities. People who cannot reach the brand is reaching them through airport retail. That's a very interesting concept. Now we have the duty frees of the world, but now all the international brands are reaching out to very local customers through airport retail. Talk to us about that.
Yes, indeed. I'll start with the first statement across of yours when you said about India has a rich culture and with our food and craft and all, and it's spread not just only to the metro cities out. They've become more cosmopolitan. They're more, but the other cities, they still hold the richness and craft and culture over there. So acceptance of luxury is not just limited across to the top 4 cities, 5 cities or 6 cities. We have luxury clientele who appreciate these beautiful creations, whether they are based out of cities like Asansol or in Pathankot or in Rajkot or Kannur or all across India. But the challenge is real estate availability is still limited only to the certain metros, and as a result of which the physical presence of the boutiques or these luxury maisons are there restricted only to the key metros.
True.
But gradually it is expanding, and with the availability of new real estate, we can expand across to the new cities. However, you rightly mentioned that India doubled up the number of airports, and as a result of which Indians started traveling across to different cities. And their first interaction, from whether you're coming from Asansol or from any other town, your first interaction with a luxury maison or any other brand happens through this transit from the airports. And therefore, the domestic travel retail channel has started playing a very, very important role. The first transition happened across when we opened up a big airport in Hyderabad. Then we added across whether it's Delhi or it's Mumbai or it's Bangalore. The airports are becoming a very important transition hubs and the interface for the customers for their first interaction with the clients.
Okay.
So that's why the travel retail on the domestic channel is a very good potential. We are pleased to have our boutique across both in Delhi, in Bangalore, and we are exploring opportunities in Mumbai as well for the domestic travel retail.
Right. Also, we are in the festive season now, and the big question is how do you see the demand panning out on a year-on-year basis, because we have had such a big booster from the GST rate rationalization that the government has given, and it's a big festive bonanza that has come in. Do you see the demand go up as a result of more disposable income in the hands of people?
Yes, definitely. Like I said, there has been a lot of developments which are happening, and the numbers are proving all of that. Whether it's the GST, the rationalization, or we talk about in the end, it all leads across to the better GDPs and all. With more disposable income, this is bound to happen. There is a potential across in this market, and government is taking all the right steps across to boost up what is required across to develop the overall momentum of retail industry in India.
E-commerce is something that is also picking up, because you can't be present, the footprint is not present in smaller tier 2, tier 3 cities as we were talking about. You're also present on e-commerce. Tell us, how is e-commerce platform picking up, and how is that doing vis-a-vis the offline channels?
E-commerce is a very important channel across, because on one side we talk about diversity across, and we have customers based all across the country with wide geography. And the other side, there's also a convenience factor which comes in for the clients who are staying within the city. E-commerce is a very, very important tool, and we are reaching out to our customers through e-commerce, and we are servicing over 300 cities through the e-commerce platform for our customers. For our customers, whether it's the consumables or the inks and refills, what they are looking out for, or the first wallet they want to pick up, or the backpack or the trolleys they are looking out for, e-commerce is becoming the go-to channel across for us. It's not cannibalizing the existing physical experience inside the boutique, but it's complementing the entire experience, whether it's inside the boutique or on the platform.
All right, Neeraj, on that note, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us, and wishing you a very happy Diwali.
Thank you so much. A very happy Diwali to you as well.
Thank you. Well, now let's slip into a short break. On the other side, we'll get you more on the booming luxury market in India, so stay tuned. Welcome back. This is the Diwali special edit on ET Now Hangouts, where we are talking about the luxury market in India. A large part of the luxury market is the beauty segment. Prada, Gucci, Armani beauty products are now finding young buyers in India. Not just that, the global cosmetic giants are also doubling down on India, betting on the world's most populous nation as a key growth market for premium offerings while sales slow in developed economies. India's luxury beauty market is expected to quintuple to $4 billion by 2035 from an $800 million in 2023, driven by its young, affluent, social media savvy shoppers with rising disposable incomes. Hi Biju, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us on ET Now.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure always to be on your channel.
Biju, tell us about the luxury beauty market. Now, luxury beauty market in India is just 4% of the $21 billion beauty and personal care market in India. So there's a big headroom for growth, right?
Absolutely. So basically, if you look at the evolution in India, see, basically, the usage is not a habit yet. And we start largely at the entry level, at the masstige and lifestyle level. So I think as we see the consumption growing up, the aspirations are there, the disposability is there. And because a lot of Indians who can afford travel and buy outside, we are just trying to make the right atmosphere, environment, engagement in India for them to come and buy, along with the upper middle class and the rich people who could afford to buy the products in the country.
So there's an interesting point that you made there, Biju, that the people who are into luxury beauty products, they're probably traveling abroad and hence they're making their purchase abroad and not in India. So, as an international brand in India, what is the market that you see? Because I'm sure there is a shift in the TG as well, because India is getting more aspirational. Even the upper middle class is now aspiring, say, for an Armani.
Correct. So principally, we believe as engaging partners with global brands, we think that consumers would love to have the right experience and the right atmosphere. So today, as you see this atmosphere, it's a boutique. We want to give the widest assortment with the best-in-class education and the topmost engagement, which is what probably is available in the other parts of the world, which is what we are trying to bring it to this country. And we have really seen that a lot of people are loving it. And brands like Armani, like Prada, like Jo Malone, like Tom Ford, many of these brands are really starting to do amazing results. But I would say that it's still the beginning of a big journey to come.
Right. So what has been the growth like? If you could just give us some numbers so that we understand what has been the growth trajectory been for these brands?
So if you look at it, the base is small.
Okay.
Hence, the growth has been significant.
Okay.
But I could quote like it's high double digits. Yeah, it could be better, but going forward, we believe that this growth is going to stay, because what is also important is to start the consumption and the consumption to continue.
Right.
And today, the phase in which we are is where people are moving from lifestyle to luxury and luxury to prestige.
Right. Right. So, as you mentioned, it's a high double-digit growth and you see the growth sustaining. What I'm trying to understand is there is already a consumer base that would have been consuming an Armani or a Prada or a Tom Ford. But I want to understand what is the new customer acquisition into the fold, say from a target group that was perhaps not an Armani consuming audience.
So very interesting, because the country has got the largest youth population.
Yeah.
So all the brands are trying to entice them into the category.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of products and innovations, especially blended with technology, because for the young ones, it is all about the gamification. So today we are using a lot of such tools and also offering products that could be entry level, which is in terms of minis or smaller sizes, because they are people who would like to try first. If they like it, then they upgrade themselves to a bigger size. So if I look at it, all the international brands are really going behind the young folks. Okay. And there is clearly quite a lot of strategy that is behind bringing them into the fold.
Right. That's an interesting point, because, earlier Uber luxury was just restricted to the wealthy, and that means you would have reached a certain age to kind of earn that kind of money. But targeting a younger audience, what's the hypothesis behind that?
Look, particularly for fragrances or beauty, because if you look at it from a fashion perspective, the starting point to any fashion journey is beauty. Yeah. Because a bottle of perfume, if you talk about Armani or Prada, it's an aspiration. Yeah. So the new customer starts to consume a beauty product or a makeup product or a skincare product of uber luxury products, which then moves into bags, watches, belts, and fashion for them. So beauty plays a very important role in blending the chords of the fashion house, but to make it quite accessible to the young ones to come into the category.
Right. And speaking of which, the audience is also trying to and willing to experiment with the with new brands, with new cosmetics. What is that you have seen on ground?
Well, you have to know that there are classics.
Okay.
Obviously you have Chanel, you have Dior,
True.
you have Yves Saint Laurent. These are very
Yeah.
classic brands. But also you have the new age brands, whether it is a Prada or an Armani or a Gucci or a Burberry. So all these brands are really trying to come to be relevant. And sometimes you have, let's say, a bit of intimidation,
Yeah.
which is a bit of a feeling that the upper middle class people may have.
Yeah.
But what we are trying to do is to go to them, to be able to reach out to them by virtue of communications, by virtue of gamifications and so on and so forth,
Yeah.
which then allows them to come back to the stores. And this is a classic case. We have got, we run as a company, Shoppers Stop, we run close to 75 boutiques in the country.
Yeah.
Between Estee Lauder, MAC, Clinique, Bobbi Brown, Jo Malone, NARS, Prada,
Yeah.
Armani, etc. So we are on this journey. We are taking the leadership in this journey because we believe that the Indian consumers are as discerning like any other global audience.
Right.
They love to be pampered. They love to be spoiled in a nice way.
Yeah.
So we think that the big picture of the brand in terms of the representation, the experience comes in boutiques.
Right.
Of course, we have got perfumeries, we have got beauty stores, we have got beauty retailers, we have got e-commerce. But at the top of the pyramid, you have the most beautiful, iconic boutiques. And that's something that we as a company has been very, very focused about.
Right. So, you housed different kinds of brands for different price points, like from Maybelline, affordable Maybelline, to L'Oreal, to say Armani, Prada, all the high-end luxury brands as well. Have you seen a shift from a consumer that probably was consuming a L'Oreal, making a jump to Armani? What has that percentage rise been for you?
Look, it's a natural progression. If you
Yeah.
ask me, the recruitment happens at the prestige level, right? Which is what you have the Maybellines and the L'Oreals and the Sugars and the Calabas,
Yeah.
etc. Then you have more aspirational brands like the MAC, the Bobbi,
True.
and probably the NARS.
And
then
then
you
the
have further the
Armani.
big jump where you have the Armani, you have the Prada,
Prada.
the Yves Saint Laurent, the Dior's, and the Chanel. So this is a natural progression. As affordability rises, people would love to consume. But let me also tell you a very interesting story. Indians, there's no dearth of money. And that's where we think as an organization, how do we educate them? Because they have the money. We need to give them a value proposition to be able to buy more aspirational products. The other trend that is really seen quite often is that a lady or a girl in her purse, she carries products from L'Oreal, she carries products from NARS, she carries products from Dior. Because it's also the choice of the conveniences that allows her to pick up products from multiple segments.
What are the current trends in the luxury beauty segment in India? And how do you see women consuming beauty luxury?
So beauty luxury, look, frankly, each brand has got its own DNA.
Yeah.
Like for example, if you look at Charlotte Tilbury, they're very strong in powders,
Yeah.
right? Foundation. NARS, again, classic case, they're very strong in foundation. Armani, classic case, they're very strong in foundation. Historically, lip as a category has been the biggest category. So lipsticks are super important, super critical. But we also see that foundations are starting to play a very strong role.
Yeah.
So it is about the hero product or the hero category within a brand
Okay.
that is out there for people to start recruiting, and then subsequently they come into the universe of a NARS or a Prada or an Armani, and then they start to be more holistic for the brand. Also, the important statistics globally, in any part of the world, Indians are the largest consuming people. You go to Dubai, you go to Singapore, you go to Thailand, you go to London, Indians are the largest consuming class. So I think we are in a very, very strong and unique proposition to be able to slowly but steadily get these consumers, the Indian consumers who is consuming globally, to come and start to consume in India.
Right.
And we did see this trend quite a bit post-COVID. Around the time of COVID, we did see a lot of business that's happening in duty-free, duty-paid, and local market. So I'm fairly confident that going forward, we should see some very, very strong growth and numbers coming into beauty as an overall and luxury beauty in particular.
All right, Biju, on that note, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us, and wishing you a very happy Diwali.
Thank you very much, and wish you guys a great Diwali too.
Well, now let's shift focus to luxury that stays. Well, yes, diamonds are forever. But it seems that natural diamonds are losing their sheen to lab-grown diamonds. At least that's what the numbers suggest. Currently valued at approximately 395 million US dollars, the Indian lab-grown diamond market is rapidly expanding as consumers increasingly embrace its affordability, sustainability and craftsmanship, with projections estimating it will reach 1,571 million US dollars by 2035. But why are lab-grown diamonds so fascinating even to the rich and the famous? Hi Vicky, thank you so much for taking the time out and coming to the studio.
Hi, how are you?
Vicky, let's talk about how lab-grown diamonds have taken over natural diamonds. In fact, in the last few years, the prices for natural diamonds have corrected somewhere around 35 to 40% since
Correct.
2022, and that's when you started out with Solitario. At that point, who would have thought that perhaps lab-grown diamonds would be taking on natural diamonds like this, especially in a country where diamonds are not just for aesthetics, it's also for value and also for astrological significance?
Correct. Lab-grown diamonds have just become more accessible to people. So, for example, when you talk about high-end fashion jewelry, people don't wear the same thing. In the past, you would gift your wife a 1-carat diamond, which was an achievement, and then she would wear it throughout her life. But she's bored of that same shape. How long are you going to wear a round diamond for? You want a cushion, you want a heart. So that's where lab-grown becomes accessible for high-end jewelry. I think natural diamonds are always going to be there. I think till natural diamonds are here, lab-grown diamonds also are there because that's aspiration. Okay. So I don't think we've taken over. What we've done is we've, in fact, increased the market cap for diamonds. I would say that. People who didn't own a diamond, today own a diamond. I would say for a person who wants variety, lab-grown diamonds is a good thing. And a person who wants to stick to one stone throughout their life, one size, then natural diamonds is to go for it. Because natural diamonds, see, a good size diamond and a good quality diamond will start from a 15 lakh range. I'm talking about solitaires.
Yeah.
How many are you going to invest in? I mean, 10 diamonds? You're going to park 1.5 crore in diamonds? It doesn't make sense because it's not going to increase price. It's still, up to a certain extent, gold bullion is great. It's a good investment. Even watches up to a certain extent is still better, although the watches market also is down right now. But normally you would buy a Rolex and would have an increment because of a shortage. But when it comes to natural diamonds, it doesn't have that. So I think lab-grown is just giving you accessibility to have a nice collection of jewelry. Like, I believe you need your basic pieces. So my basic piece is a nice necklace. I can't wear the same one every day. Like, sometimes I'm wearing a long one, a short one. So I need 3 necklaces minimum. I need about 6 rings in my collection minimum. And I need another stackable bracelet, which is 4 or 5. So my total worth in lab-grown diamonds would be maybe around 1 crore because I'm wearing big stones. But if I go to natural diamonds, it would be about 25 crores. I'm not going to park 25 crores to accessorize myself. So that's why I think lab-grown is really taking up streak. And it's not about the aspiration of premium or not premium. It's about how do you like to accessorize yourself. For me, diamonds is an accessory. I feel good about it. I like wearing it. I like the bling. And I think it really goes very well.
The mindset that people have of a value appreciation. What is the value that a lab-grown diamond brings to the table vis-a-vis a natural diamond? Because one tends to think about the value as well, because that's how an Indian consumer thinks.
Correct. So coming to the way Indian consumers think, I think a lot of people are still living in the past. Indian consumers have changed. They understand luxury. They understand what they want. I don't know why we always place it, no, Indian consumer means that they're looking for an investment. When they're buying LV, today LV is doing fantastic numbers in India. There is no resale value on a shoe, on a bag. Yeah, you do have your 50%. So at Solitario, we don't have an appreciation, but you can come back, you have a 100% exchange, and you have a buyback. Say for whatever reasons you need your funds or whatever may happen. Lab-grown diamonds are not going to appreciate. I mean, it's a factory-made product. It's lab-grown, it's grown. So it's not going to appreciate. Technology never appreciates. At all, it depreciates. But at the end of the day, again, is the depreciation value is not as much as the value you're going to block into a natural diamond or into gold.
Let's talk about the value. As far as a lab-grown diamond is concerned, a carat and above is where the difference becomes stark with a natural grown diamond, right?
Correct.
So what is the value difference there between a natural grown and a lab-grown diamond? Because that's the selling point perhaps for a lab-grown diamond, because it's more affordable.
Correct. So it's 1/10 of the price.
Okay.
So to give it to you in rupees, 1.5 carat will cost you around maybe 12 lakhs.
Okay.
Cost you 1.2 lakh. which is again debatable. Some people say the manufacturing cost, this, that.
Yeah.
But listen, at the end of the day, if you want a spark on a nice diamond, it has its price. There are different growing ways also. So you have the ones which are grown and then passed into high temperature and HPHT, which high pressure.
Yeah.
So then, of course, depending on the quality you're buying of the growing, the price changes. But the spark of a diamond comes with the cutting of the diamond, and it comes with the type of graining it has inside.
All right, Vicky, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It was an insightful conversation. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our special Diwali edit of Hangouts on the burgeoning luxury market in India. And here's wishing all our viewers of ET Now a very happy and prosperous Diwali.